Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a medium level question in the premium category in the database section that I just solved on my own. So I'm really happy about this, and I'm super glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any assistance. So let me show you how I did it. This question is called Suspicious Bank Accounts number 1843. So basically, you have this limit and you want to get all the account IDs that exceed whatever limit. Basically, we only care about the creditor lines for 2 or more consecutive months. So basically, that means we only care about this section and the account ID. And we want to see if the months are consecutive and if their total amounts 2 or more consecutive months, basically just 2 months together, see if they're both exceeding the max income limit. If that is, then include that account ID. So yeah, I think it's easier to just show you how it works. So basically what I did was parse this part and then the account ID. So let's first get the limits. So the limit is just going to be a dictionary. For I, A, and enumerate accounts ID. So limit of A is equal to accounts max income of I. And then let's go over the transactions and day. So let's call this the month, and then the account ID is just going to be so string t dot split 0. So just getting this part of it, and then also getting this part of it, which is just a month. So up to not including 7, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Python up to not including that. And then the account ID is just transactions account ID of I. And last but not least, we want to make this a date time. So let's go ahead and print the account ID and the month. So those are going to be the composite keys. Okay. So the reason for that is because we want to get all the account IDs that satisfy this criteria. So cool. So now let's create a default dict of type list, and let's say D of aid and month. We're going to add to that a default dict of type integer, actually, because we're going to say if the type is creditor, which it says right here. So if transactions type of I is equal to creditor, then we can go ahead and add the actual transactions amounts, right? So if we're here, then this particular cell. Okay. Cool. So now let's go ahead and print our dictionary by looping through it and going over each key value pair. And as you can see, we basically want to get the account ID. So basically now the only key is going to be this, because we're going to look at the timestamps, and we're going to sort the timestamps chronologically to see if we have any consecutive months, because at least 2 means that we're just interested in pairs. So let's call this DD for the sake of not having a better name for that, but that's fine. So DD, and this is just going to be the actual key. So DD of K of 0, we're going to append the actual timestamp. So K of 1, and then DK for the value. And we're going to sort it by the timestamp because we want to see if it's consecutive or not. So DDK of 0 dot sorts X of 0. So that part, right? So now let's do the same thing. Cool. So now you can see that we're just interested in each pair, because if they both exceed whatever limit we're given, then we can just go ahead and include that key, right? So let's go ahead and make an answer list. And so let's call this now. I'm just going to loop from each one, comparing each adjacent pair because these are already sorted. So that's why they're going to be, if there is a consecutive month, then they're going to be right next to each other. Okay, so for I in range 1, length of now, so the difference is now of I of 0 minus now I minus 1, 0. And if we print difference, we can see we get the number of days. But what's interesting is if they're consecutive months, each month has at most 31 days. So we can just say, make this. We're only interested in this number. So if int of difference is less than or equal to 31, then we can go ahead and check both of these values to see if they exceed the limit. If they both do, then we can include k, right? According to what they're saying here. Exceeds max income for the account for 2 or more consecutive months. 2 or more basically just means at least 2. So if we check pairs, we're good because of the way it's sorted. So then we can just say if now of I of 1 is bigger than limit of k, right? So that's that limit. And now of I minus 1 of 1, because that's going to be the actual amount, is bigger than limit of k. In that case, then we can say k is a valid answer. Let's go ahead and print this. Cool. So you can see it lines up with what we see, so that's good. And then we can just append that to answer, and we can just break it right away because it looks like we don't want duplicates. And then let's go ahead and create an empty data frame. At this point, we basically have our answer. Set the only column accounts ID equal to answer, and here it says we can return the result in any order, so we don't have to sort it. We're good to go. So let's run this, submit it, and there you go, passes all test cases. So again, I'm super glad that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any help and solve it completely on my own. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.